Picture this: a tank lighter than your family car, but capable of demolishing a building with a single shot. Sound impossible? Well, the new US M1E3 Abrams has achieved the unthinkable. Weighing less than 60 tons, this armored colossus moves like a feline and hits like a meteor. How is this possible? Its secret is a revolutionary technology that has left military engineers around the world speechless. Want to know more about this marvel of military engineering? Prepare to be amazed by what's to come. The birth of an armored beast. Have you ever dreamed of a tank that moves like a sports car and hits like a missile? Well, get ready, because that's exactly what the new M1E3 Abrams promises. The US Army was faced with a seemingly impossible dilemma. Its tanks were too heavy and slow for modern warfare. How do you make a 60-ton beast move like it weighs half as much? Engineers were faced with a challenge that seemed straight out of a science fiction movie. But when you bring together the best brains in the country and give them carte blanche to reinvent armored warfare, miracles happen. And the M1E3 Abrams is just that, a miracle of military engineering that solves the problem of weight and speed in a revolutionary way. The key is in its skin. Engineers have created a revolutionary titanium and ceramic alloy that is lighter than steel but just as strong. It's like dressing the tank in a superhero suit. This new skin not only makes the M1E3 more agile, but also better protects it against modern threats. But if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear what they've done to the engine. The M1E3 features a hybrid propulsion system that combines the power of a gas turbine with the efficiency of an electric motor. Imagine a Prius on steroids and multiply it by 1,000. This powertrain allows the M1E3 to reach speeds of over 70 kilometers per hour in a matter of seconds. We're talking about a tank that can outrun many cars on a highway. It's like you've given an elephant the ability to run like a cheetah. What makes this system truly revolutionary is not just its speed, but also its efficiency. The M1E3 is not only faster than its predecessors, but it also consumes less fuel. It's like having created an Olympic athlete who is also eco-friendly. And you know what's most amazing about all of this? They've managed to do all of this without sacrificing firepower. The M1E3 remains a lethal war machine, capable of taking on any threat on the modern battlefield. The end result is a tank that weighs less than 60 tons, but can do things its predecessors could only dream of. It's faster, more agile, more efficient, and most importantly, more lethal. They've taken everything we knew about tanks and turned it on its head. But what really makes the M1E3 special is its adaptability. This isn't just a tank designed for a specific type of warfare. It's a versatile machine, capable of operating in both urban and open field environments. It's like having a Swiss Army knife the size of a building, ready to take on any challenge the modern battlefield can throw at you. The silent revolution, the hybrid heart of the M1E3. If you thought the M1E3's versatility was impressive, get ready to experience its stealthier side. Can you imagine a 60-ton predator that can stalk its prey in complete silence? Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what engineers have achieved with the M1E3's hybrid propulsion system. Traditionally, tanks have been loud machines that are easy to spot on the battlefield. The roar of their engines gives them away from miles away, making them easy targets for the enemy. But the M1E3's designers met this colossal challenge with a revolutionary solution: a hybrid electric propulsion system, a first in the world of combat tanks. This system allows the M1E3 to do something unprecedented: operate in all-electric mode. Imagine a tank moving across the battlefield, making no more noise than a whisper, with its thermal and acoustic signature reduced to minimal levels. It's like a 60-ton phantom gliding across the terrain, invisible to enemy detection systems. But the M1E3's hybrid system doesn't just offer stealth. It also provides instant acceleration that defies physics. In a matter of seconds, this colossus can go from completely stationary to reaching speeds of over 70 kilometers per hour. This acceleration capability is crucial on the modern battlefield, where speed can mean the difference between life and death. What's truly revolutionary is the system's versatility. Silent watch and silent drive capabilities allow the M1E3 to adapt to any situation. Imagine a tank that can remain completely still, with all its systems operational, without making a single sound, or one that can patrol an area without anyone being aware of its presence. Brigadier General Jeffrey Norman has emphasized the importance of this feature. According to him, the hybrid propulsion system must be able to reach high dash speeds while maintaining the ability to operate silently. This combination is crucial for survival on the modern battlefield, where being detected can mean immediate destruction. The M1E3 is not just a faster or quieter tank. It is an entirely new predator in the ecosystem of modern warfare. It can stalk silently, move at incredible speeds, and switch between these modes in a matter of seconds. This combination of stealth and speed makes the M1E3 virtually impossible to detect and even harder to attack. It can appear out of nowhere, strike with devastating force, and disappear before the enemy can even process what has happened. It is a military strategist's dream come true. The Invisible Shield, the M1E3's active protection system. Now, what happens when the M1E3 comes face-to-face with the enemy? How does it survive direct attacks? What you're about to discover makes Star Wars energy shields look like antiquated technology. Imagine a modern battlefield where guided missiles and kamikaze drones constantly threaten armored vehicles. In this apocalyptic scenario, the M1E3 Abrams stands as an invulnerable titan, thanks to its impressive Active Protection System, APS. This APS is a revolution in tank defense. Using state-of-the-art radars, this armored monster is able to sense danger before the enemy even realizes it has fired. Once the threat is detected, the APS launches its own countermeasures to automatically intercept and destroy the enemy projectile. It's like having an ultra-fast robotic bodyguard that never sleeps and never gets distracted. The M1E3's APS is capable of intercepting even the fastest, most supersonic missiles. What was considered an impossible dream just a few years ago is now a reality in this next-generation tank. But the APS isn't the only surprise the M1E3 has in store for us. This tank of the future also features an autoloader system that revolutionizes the way it operates. It's like having a robot surgeon on the battlefield, capable of loading and firing with pinpoint accuracy. This system allows the M1E3 to operate with a reduced crew, thus increasing its operational efficiency. Imagine a tank that not only defends itself, but also requires fewer personnel to operate. The combination of the APS and the autoloader turns the M1E3 into a virtually impregnable mobile fortress. It's capable of surviving attacks that would have reduced any other tank to scrap, all while maintaining its offensive capabilities at their peak. It's as if engineers have created an armored superhero, capable of withstanding whatever the enemy throws at it. Think of the strategic implications. A tank that can drive into hostile territory, with the confidence that it can repel almost any attack. An armored vehicle that can operate in high-risk areas without needing constant support. The M1E3 not only survives, but dominates the battlefield in a way we could only dream of before. And if you think that's amazing, wait until you see how the M1E3 fights back. Because this tank isn't content to be just an impenetrable shield. Its offensive capabilities are just as impressive as its defense. But that's another story that deserves its own chapter. The all-seeing eye, M1E3. Sensor systems. If you thought the M1E3's defense was impressive, get ready for something even more amazing. This tank has sensory capabilities that look like something straight out of a futuristic spy movie. In the world of modern warfare, information is just as valuable as firepower, and the engineers behind the M1E3 knew this all too well. The M1E3 is equipped with advanced thermal cameras that detect body heat through walls and camouflage. An enemy soldier might be hiding behind a wall, thinking he's safe, not knowing that the M1E3 has already detected him. Plus, its synthetic aperture radar maps the terrain and detects hidden vehicles miles away. These technologies work in tandem. Thermal cameras identify nearby threats, while the radar provides a broader view of the battlefield. It's as if the tank had eagle eyes and X-ray vision at the same time. The brains behind it all is an intelligence system, artificial intelligence that identifies and classifies threats in real time. Imagine the M1E3 advancing through an urban area. Its sensors detect movement in various buildings. Within seconds, the AI analyzes every thermal signature and movement pattern, identifying groups of civilians and armed combatants, alerting the crew accordingly. This capability not only improves combat effectiveness, but also dramatically reduces the risk of collateral damage. In an urban warfare scenario, where the distinction between combatants and civilians is crucial, the M1E3 provides an unparalleled tactical advantage. The crew has access to a three-dimensional representation of the battlefield in real time, showing the position of friendly forces, civilians, and potential threats. It's like having an interactive map of the conflict that is constantly updated. The M1E3's modular design allows for the integration of new technologies, adapting to emerging threats. With these sensory capabilities, it can detect what others can't, predict enemy movements, and make informed decisions in fractions of a second. The M1E3 has evolved from being simply an armored vehicle to becoming a true mobile command center, forever changing the nature of modern ground combat. The Titan Strike M1E3 weapon system. Have you ever imagined a tank capable of firing with the precision of a sniper and the power of a bomb? It seems like an impossible combination, but the engineers behind the M1E3 have achieved the unimaginable. Prepare to be blown away, because we're about to delve into the heart of this steel beast's destructive power, its weapon system. In the world of traditional tanks, there has always been a dilemma: power or precision. It was like choosing between a hammer and a scalpel. But in modern warfare, where every shot counts and collateral damage is unacceptable, precision has become just as crucial as power. How to solve this seemingly impossible puzzle? This is where the M1E3 comes into the picture and changes all the rules of the game. The heart of this weapon system is a 130mm smoothbore gun that combines devastating power with surgical precision. It's as if they've managed to combine the strength of a giant with the finesse of a surgeon, but the gun is just the beginning. What really makes this system revolutionary is its brain, an AI-assisted fire control system. This system uses data from all of the tank's sensors to calculate perfect trajectories. It's like having a supercomputer and a team of genius mathematicians working on every shot. And here comes the most impressive part: the M1E3's smart ammunition. These shells can change course mid-flight, chasing moving targets, or even going around corners. Do you realize what this means on the battlefield? An enemy tank can no longer simply hide behind a building or a hill. The M1E3's ammo will find a way to get to it. The true genius of this system lies in how it combines all of these advanced technologies: the high-powered gun, AI-assisted fire control system, and intelligent ammunition work in perfect harmony. It's like a symphony orchestra where each instrument is a prodigy in its own right, but together they create a masterpiece. With this weapons system, the M1E3 can neutralize threats with unprecedented precision and effectiveness. Whether it's a fortified bunker miles away or an enemy vehicle moving at high speed, the M1E3 has the answer. It's like having an elite sniper, a demolitions expert, and a military strategist all in one. But most impressive of all, this weapons system doesn't operate in isolation. It integrates seamlessly with all of the tank's other systems: advanced sensors, hybrid propulsion system, active protection. It all works together to make every shot a masterpiece of precision and power. The hive mind, the networked M1E3. Imagine a battlefield where every vehicle is like a neuron in a giant brain. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, the M1E3 is about to turn that fantasy into an astonishing reality. Are you ready to discover how this tank is part of a military network that could forever change the way wars are fought? In modern combat, coordination between units is crucial. It's no longer enough to have the most powerful tank or the fastest plane. What really makes the difference is the ability to act as a single organism, where each piece of the military puzzle knows exactly what the rest are doing. And this is where the M1E3 Abrams makes a quantum leap in the evolution of armored warfare. Imagine a tank that can see through the eyes of a drone hovering over the battlefield from miles away, or a platoon of M1E3s moving in perfect synchrony, like the limbs of a single being. This is exactly what the M1E3's revolutionary combat network system makes possible. This system is a full-blown military neural network. The M1E3 becomes a key node within a military superorganism, sharing information in real time with other tanks, aircraft, and even satellites. It's as if each M1E3 is an eye, an ear, and a brain connected to a global military nervous system. What's truly amazing is how this network allows the M1E3 to learn from the experiences of other vehicles. If one M1E3 detects a new enemy tactic, within seconds that information is shared with all other tanks on the network. Each M1E3 instantly improves its ability to respond and adapt to different threats. The integration of advanced technologies into the M1E3 allows for millimetric coordination of unit movements and attacks on the battlefield. It's as if a central brain moves the pieces on a three-dimensional chessboard in real time. The standards-based design of modular open systems architecture makes all of this possible. This facilitates faster, more efficient upgrades and improves interoperability with other military systems. The M1E3 speaks a universal language that allows it to communicate and work in harmony with every other piece of equipment on the battlefield. This connectivity does not sacrifice the M1E3's autonomy, but rather power. The tank is lighter and more adaptable, allowing for better mobility and flexibility. This is crucial in modern combat scenarios, where quickly adapting to changing situations can mean the difference between life and death for soldiers. This military collective consciousness makes the M1E3 much more than the sum of its parts. It is a node in an interconnected military intelligence network. Every M1E3 on the battlefield amplifies the capabilities of every other one, creating a multiplier effect that could dramatically shift the balance of power in any conflict. The Armored Chameleon, M1E3 Adaptability. If you thought the M1E3's interconnectivity was impressive, get ready for something even more amazing. This tank can transform like a mechanical chameleon, adapting to any environment in a matter of hours. It sounds like science fiction, but it's the reality of the modern battlefield. Imagine a scenario where a commander needs to send his tanks on a mission in the desert and the next day on an operation in an urban jungle. With the M1E3, this is a piece of cake thanks to its revolutionary modular system. It's like having a giant Lego set to put together the ultimate war machine. How does the M1E3 accomplish this feat? The key is its standardized hardpoints. These allow you to add or remove armor and equipment quickly and efficiently. Need more protection from landmines? Add belly plates to the tank, heading into a city full of snipers? Install anti-RPG cages in a matter of hours. What is most impressive is the speed of these changes. Depending on the complexity, the reconfiguration can be carried out in a relatively short time. This means that the M1E3 can respond quickly to emerging threats. Imagine a scenario where your unit is under attack from a new enemy weapon. While other tanks are left vulnerable, the M1E3 reconfigures itself in the field, adapting to survive and fight back. This capability can be the difference between victory and defeat. But the M1E3's adaptability is not limited to hardware. Its software is also a marvel. It can download new tactics and countermeasures in real time, like a smartphone receiving an update. This means that the M1E3 not only changes its physical form, but also its brain, constantly adapting to new enemy threats and strategies. This ability to update is crucial in modern conflicts. Tactics and technologies evolve so quickly that a static tank would become obsolete within weeks. With the M1E3, commanders know their tanks will always have the best capabilities, no matter how quickly the battlefield landscape changes. The versatility of the M1E3 is astounding. One day it can be a mobile fortress with extra armor, the next an agile predator with a priority on speed. It's like having multiple tanks in one, giving commanders unprecedented tactical flexibility. It can go from operating in arid deserts to navigating narrow streets without losing effectiveness. It's every military strategist's dream come true, a vehicle capable of meeting any challenge that comes its way. The Invisible Crewman. Automation in the M1E3. Picture this, a battlefield where tanks move unmanned, like steel ghosts controlled by an invisible intelligence. Sounds like science fiction? Well, brace yourself, because the M1E3 Abrams is about to turn that fantasy into an astonishing reality. What makes the M1E3 truly revolutionary is its ability to operate with a skeleton crew, a 60-ton tank manned by just 3 people. How is that possible? The answer lies in an incredibly advanced automation system. At the heart of this technological marvel is an autoloader that outperforms any human gunner. This robotic system selects and loads ammunition at an astonishing speed. It's like having a tireless assistant who never makes a mistake and never needs a break. But the truly amazing thing is that the M1E3 can drive itself. This tank navigates the battlefield, dodges obstacles, and chooses the best route without the need for a human driver. It moves with a grace and precision that defies logic. Imagine this scenario, a high-risk area where sending troops would be too dangerous. The M1E3 leaps into action, completely unmanned. Remotely controlled from a secure base, the tank roams the terrain, identifying targets and tactically maneuvering, all without putting a single human life at risk. This automation doesn't mean soldiers are obsolete. On the contrary, it allows the crew to focus on critical tasks that require human judgment and intuition. It's like having a super assistant taking care of the routine, allowing soldiers to focus on strategy and crucial decisions. This revolution in automation dramatically reduces the risk to human lives and takes combat effectiveness to unprecedented levels. The M1E3 can operate 24/7 without the need for relief or breaks. It's a tireless machine ready to defend at any moment. The impact of this technology goes far beyond the battlefield. The M1E3 isn't just a tank, it's a statement of technological might. It represents America's ability to innovate in the military realm, sending a clear message to the world. And you can be sure that the world is taking note, especially those countries that view American military might with suspicion. With the M1E3 Abrams, the future of armored warfare has arrived. This tank isn't just a game changer, it completely redefines the game board. It's a technological leap that promises to transform military strategy and national defense for years to come. Beyond the M1E3, the future of armored warfare. If you think the M1E3's hybrid electric propulsion system is revolutionary, get ready for what's next. The future of tanks is even more amazing. Tanks invisible to radar? It's not science fiction. It's a real possibility thanks to metamaterials. Imagine a battlefield where tanks move like ghosts, undetectable to the enemy. But that's just the beginning. How about a tank that fires shells at hypersonic speeds without using gunpowder? Electromagnetic propulsion will make it possible. We're talking about tanks that launch shells using only electricity at speeds that would make the M1E3 look like a snail. And artificial intelligence will continue to evolve by leaps and bounds. We could see completely autonomous tanks in the near future, an army of machines operating with millimeter precision, making tactical decisions in fractions of a second. It's fascinating and disturbing at the same time. What really gives me goosebumps is the future of electronic warfare. Can you imagine a tank that can hack enemy vehicles in the middle of combat? War machines that not only physically destroy, but also take control of opponent systems. It's an unprecedented level of battlefield dominance. Meanwhile, engineers are still working on making tanks lighter and more adaptable. The M1E3, with its weight of less than 60 tons, is just the beginning. Future tanks will be even faster and more agile, able to adapt to any situation in minutes. Crew reduction is another significant change. From the M1E3's autoloader, we will move to tanks operated by one person or even completely autonomous. This will not only increase efficiency, but allow for radically new designs. What's fascinating is how these advances leverage each other. Less weight means more speed. Electromagnetic propulsion allows for more compact and safer designs. AI and electronic warfare transform the tank into an intelligence node on the battlefield. These advances will not only change how wars are fought, but also how they are prevented. An invisible, fast tank capable of hacking enemy systems is a formidable deterrent. It could make large-scale conflicts too costly and risky. The technology that makes tanks more lethal could, ironically, make them instruments of peace. The price of innovation, the challenges of the M1E3. But while we dream of invisible, autonomous tanks, reality hits us like a guided missile. Have you ever wondered what the true cost of owning the world's most advanced tank is? What you'll discover will blow your mind. The M1E3 Abrams is a technological marvel, a colossus of metal and circuitry that promises to revolutionize the battlefield. But like all cutting-edge innovation, it comes with challenges that would make even the most seasoned of generals sweat. Imagine for a moment that you have to maintain and operate what is essentially a supercomputer on tracks. The cost of producing the M1E3 is astronomical, far exceeding that of its predecessors. We're talking about figures that would make even the most robust military budgets turn pale. And that's just the beginning. Maintaining these technological beasts is what really keeps the Pentagon's accountants up at night. The M1E3 requires an army of highly specialized technicians just to keep it operational. They're more like high-tech surgeons, capable of diagnosing and repairing systems that seem straight out of a science fiction novel. The complexity of the M1E3 raises serious concerns about its reliability in extreme combat conditions. What happens if one of these ultra-modern systems fails in the middle of a crucial battle? We're not talking about rebooting your smartphone. It's a 60-ton war machine that could be rendered useless at the most critical moment. And if you think that's worrying, wait until you hear about the risk of cyber attacks. A tank as connected as the M1E3 is a dream come true for enemy hackers. Imagine a scenario where an adversary could take control of these rolling fortresses with just a few clicks. It's a national security nightmare that keeps the military's cybersecurity experts up at night. But perhaps the most profound challenge posed by the M1E3 is the ethical dilemma. What happens when you give so much decision-making power to a machine on the battlefield? The M1E3's artificial intelligence can process information and make decisions at a speed that far exceeds human capability. But are we prepared to delegate life or death decisions to an algorithm? It's a question that forces us to reflect on the limits of technology and our own humanity. The decision to integrate an active protection system, APS, into the M1E3 exemplifies this dilemma. It significantly improves the tank's survivability, but adds complexity and cost to the already sophisticated design. It's a delicate balance between protection and practicality that designers must constantly negotiate, begging the question, how far are we willing to go in our quest for the perfect tank? The quiet revolution. How the M1E3 is changing military doctrine. The M1E3 Abrams is quietly revolutionizing military doctrine, rewriting centuries of strategy. Have you ever thought how a single vehicle can change everything we knew about military tactics? Well, this colossus of steel and technology is doing just that, and in ways no one expected. Imagine for a moment a veteran general watching the first tests of the M1E3. His eyes go wide, his mouth drops open. Decades of experience fade before his eyes as he watches this metal giant move with the grace of a dancer and the speed of a sports car. It's like the rules of chess have suddenly been changed for him in the middle of a world-class match. What makes the M1E3 so revolutionary is its incredible agility and speed. This tank is blurring the line between mechanized infantry and heavy cavalry. It's like an elephant that can move like a gazelle. That's how impactful the change it's bringing about on the battlefield is. The M1E3's ability to operate in a network is leading to new combat formations that take advantage of the tank's collective consciousness. Each unit is part of a military superbrain, sharing information and coordinating with a precision never seen before. This interconnectedness improves effectiveness on the battlefield in a way that seems straight out of a science fiction movie. The M1E3's precision is astonishing. Its ability to perform surgical operations is changing the way urban operations are planned. Commanders can now devise strategies that significantly reduce collateral damage. It's like having a scalpel instead of a hammer. The M1E3 allows the military to be more selective and careful in their operations. What's really surprising to military experts is the M1E3's ability to operate autonomously. This advancement is leading to new concepts of swarms of combat vehicles, where multiple units coordinate their actions without direct human intervention. Imagine an army of tanks that can think and act for themselves, like a colony of super-intelligent ants. The adaptability of the M1E3 is forcing armies to completely rethink the composition of their forces. This tank can be quickly configured for different scenarios, allowing for unprecedented tactical flexibility. It's like having a Swiss Army knife the size of a building, adaptable to any situation in a matter of minutes. This versatility is leading to a complete overhaul of military tactics manuals. Strategists are going back to the drawing board, hastily rewriting what has been the Bible of armies for decades. The M1E3 is not just a new tank, it is the catalyst for a revolution in the art of war, forcing a rethink of every aspect of modern military strategy. Beyond the battlefield, the M1E3's impact on civilian technology. If you thought the M1E3 Abrams was only going to revolutionize the battlefield, get ready for an even bigger surprise. This colossus of steel and technology is changing the rules of warfare and could transform your everyday life in amazing ways. Sound crazy? Well, hold on tight, because we're about to dive into a future that looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine for a moment that the same technology that makes enemy armies tremble is behind your next smartphone or even the car you drive. The reality is that many innovations we enjoy in our daily lives have their origins in the military field, like the GPS you use on your phone. Now, the M1E3 Abrams is ready to continue this tradition of innovation on an impressive scale. Have you ever wondered what a world with ultra-efficient trucks would look like? The M1E3's hybrid propulsion system could be the answer, revolutionizing the heavy-duty transport industry with vehicles that consume less fuel and emit less polluting gases. But that's not all. The tank's active protection system could be adapted to improve safety in civilian vehicles. Imagine cars capable of detecting and neutralizing threats in milliseconds, whether it's a malicious drone or any other unforeseen danger, making roads much safer places. The M1E3's artificial intelligence could also transform our cities. Think of a traffic management system that adjusts traffic lights and signals in real time, optimizing the flow of vehicles. Goodbye to endless traffic jams and the frustration of being late for work. This technology could drastically reduce accidents and congestion, making our cities more efficient and safer. The tank's ultra-light materials could revolutionize construction, allowing for taller, stronger, and more energy-efficient buildings. Imagine skyscrapers that defy gravity, or structures capable of withstanding earthquakes that would have previously been devastating. Modern architecture is on the cusp of taking a quantum leap thanks to these innovations. Lastly, the M1E3's networking technology could dramatically improve coordination in rescue and disaster management operations. Emergency teams can communicate with unprecedented efficiency, responding faster and more effectively to any crisis. It's as if the M1E3 was destined to be a hero, both in times of war and peace. We're looking at a future where military technology not only protects but improves our daily lives. The M1E3 Abrams isn't just a tank, it's a precursor to innovations that will change the world as we know it. Are you ready for this future? Because it's already here, and it promises to be absolutely fascinating. Conclusion: the M1E3 Abrams is not just another tank, it is a window into the future of warfare and technology. This colossus has unleashed a storm of reaction around the world. Military experts hail it as a revolution, while others question whether we have gone too far. But what is most fascinating is its potential to transform our everyday lives. Like GPS went from military technology to everyday use. Civilian vehicles with active protection systems, buildings with ultra-light materials. The innovations of the M1E3 could drive incredible advances in peacetime. So how do you think this tank of the future will change our world? Will it be a triumph of engineering or a disturbing reminder of the cost of modern warfare?